All right. So, all right. I should have put on here Zoom leadership seminar, October the 3rd, 2020. Together we are stronger and together we thrive. This year, I mean, when I picked this theme last year, I did not realize how apropos it was going to be, not only for last year, but also for this year. And we've heard that word in many, many different contexts this past year. Our history. Most of us are all familiar with the history of the daughters of Penelope. Thank God for Alexandra Apostolides for her desire and her ability to see the future. She started something in 1929 that is still relevant in 2020, an organization of strong women. The organization, the Daughters of Penelope, started as an organization that would be an auxiliary to the Order of Ahepa. And now we are an affiliate of the Order of Ahepa. Just a little twist. What is our mission? To encourage educational pursuits, because we all know that education and knowledge is power. It's important. It gives you independence. It moves you forward. And it is such an integral part of what the Daughters of Penelope are. To be philanthropic, to help organizations, to help those in need, to help charitable organizations, to be civically responsible. And we have seen that over and over again this year. We've always seen it, but we've seen it so much this year via COVID, people taking on that civic responsibility. To encourage personal excellence. We've seen that over and over again this past while. To remember our roots by cultivating Hellenism. As you know, Greece is going to be celebrating its 200th anniversary next March, and we cross our fingers and look forward to being part of that as a Greek women's organization, as a women's organization. And we want to support our junior order, the Maids of Athena. We are a family. The Daughters of Penelope is a family. So as a family, we must take care of ourselves. First and foremost, we need to take care of ourselves to make sure we're getting enough sleep, to make sure we're eating properly, to make sure you're doing that E-word exercise that I don't often do, because that's very important. We can't take care of ourselves if we cannot take care of others, our family, unless we take care of ourselves first. There we are. Take care of our family. Very, very important. And you've heard me say it before, we need to take care of the Daughters of Penelope, not only our sisters, but as an organization, we need to take care of the Daughters of Penelope. In terms of what we do and how we do it, none of that has changed. We have still, we still pay our rent, we still pay employees, we still have the, have to pay for the power and the heat and all those kinds of good things, and all of our regards to our membership program, regards to our website, regards to all of the things that work behind the scenes that nobody ever knows. And unfortunately this year, and I'm sure a lot of it is due to COVID and not having face-to-face meetings, we are down in our membership to a tune of about $35,000, which equates to about 1,000 members. And I know throughout the day or throughout the morning, you may be hearing some suggestions from others what they are doing or what you might want to look at with regards to trying to get the members who are homebound to be able to pay their per capita. So I look forward to having that discussion. And of course, we need to check in with other members of our Ahepa family. Very important, that word. Things are the same, but they are different. Yes, we are meeting, but we are meeting via Zoom. Yes, we can hold ritualistic meetings on Zoom. Yes, we can hold initiations via Zoom. Yes, our district governor and lodge can meet with you, with us, via Zoom. Yes, we can pay our dues via the membership portal or via check or e-transfer to our chapter treasurer. Yes, we can have a social gathering via Zoom, and I participated in one yesterday with the Untitled Chapter in New Jersey. And yes, we can hold a fundraiser via Zoom. And a little later on, I'm going to talk about some webinars that we are having, and so I will make, you have more comments on that. And fundraiser, we have a school of art in Banff, which is about 60 miles from us in the mountains, and that school held a virtual fundraiser this summer. And I know they had some of the students that were performing and et cetera, and I know that they have their donors, but they raised $850,000 via Zoom. Woo. So that just blew me away, to be honest with you. Well, what are some of the things that maybe we can do while we're not able to be meeting? Well, we can plan a trip by watching online tours. Not as much fun, a little bit less expensive. We can take virtual museum tours. We can just take a walk to enjoy, especially at this time of year, the colors of fall. The only thing I miss out in the West is that we don't get the reds that you get in the East in your fall walks. We can watch whatever makes you laugh on Netflix, Google, or TV. You can cook with a friend. I know the Melbourne chapter sent out this recipe to make this orange cake, and everybody got the ingredients ready and everybody watched it, made it together, and then they enjoyed it with a cup of tea. Your book club can meet, or you can, what was the last one there? I moved it too fast. Anyway, I'll check back on that one. We need to celebrate. It's so important to celebrate. Let's celebrate our members who are front-line professionals. Let's celebrate all our members who continue to do their job during this pandemic. Let's celebrate the caregivers, because they are amazing people. And sometimes the seniors in our family have a hard time, as I mentioned in the bulletin this year on the 1st of October, was that sometimes you have to ask the right questions to get the right answers of what they need or what they might need from you to help them carry on. Let's celebrate the educators and child advocates. I am so happy that I am retired. I would not want to be in the shoes of those who are having to do their teaching via Zoom or in the classroom and via, virtually. So I tip my hat to you, and I do celebrate you, because I can imagine what you're going through. So I thank you for that. Let's celebrate the members who have checked in on sisters who might need help. Let's celebrate the members who have managed to fulfill their obligations to the Daughters of Penelope through all of this. Let's celebrate the members who have worked together for their communities, that civic responsibility. And let's celebrate all of our members, because you, all the chapter members, are our strength. So I celebrate all of you. And I thank you very much for listening this morning. And there's any questions that you might have for me now, or we will have time for questions at the end after you've seen all the presentations.
I have a question.
All right. So we will now carry on with our Grand Vice President, Kathy Bazookas, with her Growth and Expansion Program.
Yeah, there was a question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
I just had a question. I was trying to write down some of the suggestions that you had. Is the slide presentation going to be available to us as well?
Yes. Elena will put it on the website.
Okay, great. That was very good. A lot of good ideas.
Thank you.
I took a picture of it.
Could you actually just drop it into our chat thing and we can download it?
Oh, that's a technical question. Where's my technical advisor, Elena?
I can do that. I can do it.
You expect too much of me. Technology? You know, getting my PowerPoint from my what do you call it? My documents onto the screen was a feat in itself. So. All right, Kathy Bazookas, your turn.
You're good at it by the end of the year.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure.
Will improve.
Thank you. If you all saw me, I know Celia didn't see me, but if you all saw me running around, it's because the dog started barking and I knew he was going to do it as soon as I was ready to start this. So I'm now in the operation of the house. Okay, let's see here. There. Okay,
There we go.
I think I'm ready. Okay, slideshow. Okay, I'd like to welcome and congratulate everyone, all the district governors who are attending, as Sister Grand President Celia said, our first ever Zoom leadership seminar. This year, I have a feeling we will also have many more firsts. And it will be very different. But it can be better. And how do you ask? How you ask? By using these things we've learned over the past few months. Look at them as an opportunity to build upon, focus, stay on track, and keep moving forward. So all aboard the DOP train. First and foremost, we need to take care of our members and consider the health and welfare. Stay hip, as Grand President Celia said. We want to stay healthy, isolate, and physically distance yourself. How do we do this? We do this by moving forward. We keep doing what we are doing. Connect with our sisters, support our chapters, districts, and headquarters. Educate ourselves with our wonderful website. You can find so many things on the website, and I believe they are all underutilized. So please look on our website and learn. Continue to publicize the Daughters of Penelope on social media. We have to remember that we still need to financially support the Daughters of Penelope. Per capita is very important, not only to keep our membership status active, but remember that headquarters still has the day-to-day operations to keep our organization running. It's October. How do we get our members to pay their dues for the remainder of this year, for 2020, and the upcoming year of 2021 with the way the times are? Let me touch on a few ideas for a moment. Later in, we'll be speaking about the membership system, but here are a few suggestions on collecting dues. You can send a self-addressed stamped envelope to your members, so all they have to do is write a check and throw it in the mail. Or you can have a membership drive, but it's not what you're thinking. For members who can't get out of the house, tell them you'll actually drive to their house, pick up their dues, and maybe take them a small dessert at the same time and check in on them. Another idea, how about have the chapter send in the entire membership for the year and have the members pay when they can or when you meet again. For those who cannot pay this year, why not pay it forward, as we say? Help out a sister who may not have the means for one reason or another and has been a member for years. We help each other as sisters, and that might be another idea. And of course, use the membership system. We have a new world, new ways, new ideas. That's what we have come up with, and that's what we're going to have to keep doing until this settles down. So set your goals and go. What type of members do we need? All types of members, of course, but now we also have more sisters staying at home, which includes stay-at-home workers, stay-at-home moms, sisters, nannies, yayas, lifetime members who are the backbone to our chapter are at home. They are our historians, and new members who of course come in with new ideas. We need all types of members, but we also need to focus on our loyal members who have been the ones to always hold the chapter together, and we need to cultivate to retain these members. Whoops, didn't want to go there yet. We've also been looking at our graduating Maids of Athena. Let's welcome them into the Daughters of Penelope with open arms. Remind your chapter advisors and the officers to look at their rosters, especially if they're ready to turn 24. Make sure they filled out their daughter's application and have been processed to become a Daughter of Penelope. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but it's very important. In order for them to stay a dual member, they have to be in order for them to stay as a maid, they have to be a dual member in both the daughters and the maids. So don't forget, remind them to get their applications in with a $15 fee to headquarters before their 24th birthday. You may also want to see if their moms are not members. If they are not, invite them to join also. There are many different ways that we have learned how to meet with each other when we can't be together. So I've just noted a few of the social media platforms. We have Zoom, which is the most popular. As some of you have engaged in 2 or many, many more than that recently. We have FaceTime, which you can get up to 32 people, and there is an unlimited amount of time. Now, FaceTime also is mainly through Apple devices. Facebook Messenger, you can fit up to approximately 50, I believe, and you can either do a voicemail or video call. You have Google Hangouts, which limits up to 25. You have Skype, which probably I think was one of the first video calls that they came out with. And then you have WhatsApp. This one really works well with our sisters internationally. But what about the members who aren't tech savvy? Well, we can still make phone calls. You can still send them mail. You can use Zoom because they do have a dial-in. You can use free conference call with an access code, or your GoToMeeting, which also fits up to 250 people. We ask, what are the positives? We are always positive and we want to stay positive, but we have to start thinking out of the box. What can we do to keep our members engaged? We can still meet, we can still have ritualistic meetings, we can still vote on important issues, and we can socialize virtually, host virtual fundraisers, which our chapter did last night, and it was a success. We can have cooking nights, we can have speakers, lectures, educational webinars, which will be talked about later this afternoon, and we can host game nights. COVID won't stop us though. Why? We always get back and try again, and we have to keep doing that. We are still here after 90 years. Remember, we are the largest women's international organization. We have a very long history. We are strong women, we care about each other, and we are doers. So the final thoughts on this is the Daughters of Penelope don't give up. Just so I let you know, persistence, the definition of persistence is tenacity and determination. And that's why the daughters are still here after all these years. But we have the way things are now. We have flexibility, convenience, no weather conditions to worry about to get to a meeting, no babysitters to worry about, unless of course you want to go to a different room in the house, enjoyment of our sisterhood, the feeling of belonging, and hopefully we can soon be together again. So you ask, what does all this mean? Keep moving forward. Pass go, collect $200. Let's play DOPopoly. On Tuesday, I'm gonna let you know what this last slide means. On Tuesday, October 13th at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Sister Bev and I will be giving a seminar on understanding your stats. And also I will be giving anyone interested in playing DOPopoly, I will be going over the rules. It's going to be like Monopoly, but we're going to use it according to membership stats only. And there may be some other challenges that you can earn points on, but there will be prizes. So if you're interested, please join us that night. And it'll be fun and keep connecting with our sisters. As you're scheduling your meetings, workshops, or conferences, I would love to attend to be able to present the program. I can go over the stats individually with you or answer any questions you may have that I can assist with. You can call me, text me, email me. You can also reach me almost any time, day or night. I'm here to help, and as I say, and I truly believe, for the love of the daughters. Thank you all, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation. Oh, where are we? Okay. Stop share. Okay.
Thank you very much, Grand Vice President Kathy, for that good presentation. And I hope that you will all join her on October the 13th, I think she said.
Yes.
For the presentation of the very exciting stats. We all love to go through stats, and also to get the information about the game that she's presenting to everybody. So I hope you join her then. Now we'll have our Grand Secretary, Georgette Boulageris, go over our projects. I know she's here.
Yes, I know. I'm trying to figure it out.
I know the feeling.
Oh.
Here she is.
You see that I can't get it up there.
We don't see it.
No, they don't see it yet.
I have a question real quick.
Good. Ask
Sure.
all the questions.
I'll stall for you.
Good. Thanks.
Kathy, are you sending out an email bite, or I mean a Zoom bite for that thing on October 13th?
We will, I believe Elena will be taking over. She'll explain all of that later. Correct,
Okay.
Elena?
You see it now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks, Sue, for the stall.
Yeah.
Good morning, good afternoon, sisters, or good morning, depends on where you are. I'm Georgette Boulageris, I'm the Grand Secretary, and I was asked to put together a presentation on our national projects because it's important for you as leaders in the district to really have a strong toolbox of information that you can go out and present to the chapters and to the sisterhood in your area. And I want you to be as well informed as possible. So the national projects are an important component of our sisterhood nationally, but it's also your district projects and your chapter projects really help create your identity within your own areas. But nationally, we have a set of national projects, so bear with me. First, I'd like to explain to you how our national projects are chosen, because some of you may not have been afforded the opportunity to come to a Supreme Convention, but our national projects are chosen annually, and it is a standing committee at the Supreme Convention. If you are a delegate at the Supreme Convention, you can choose to be a member of that committee and deliberate on the future national projects of the coming year. We do have a stipulation, I think, of 2 people from each, from a district, so it doesn't get overloaded with one district. What the committee does is it evaluates all proposals, not only the program itself, but also the financial status of each project, so that they can really make informed decisions on which projects they're going to bring to the general body of the Daughters of Penelope. And then consequently at the convention, the projects committee presents the recommended projects, and all of the sisterhood, all of the delegates vote on the project recommendations, and that's how we come up with our projects. This year, we once again, one of our strongest focuses is to provide safe harbor and support people that are suffering from domestic violence. And it's become more and more of an issue, especially during COVID. The number of domestic violence incidences has risen because of job loss and illness. So Penelope House, which was established in 1979 in Mobile, Alabama by Sister Catherine, Sister Doctor or Doctor Sister, Sister Doctor, Doctor, whatever, Catherine Kumanis. And So it's it's over 40 years old. And what I did on this PowerPoint that's going to be shared too is I'm going to give you little bits of a few videos so that you can get a kind of a sense of these projects. This video on Penelope House was made by BP oil company that supports, but it kind of reflects on how much support and effort Penelope House appreciates. So please join us in watching Sister Tony Ann share.
My name is Tony Ann Torrens. I'm the Executive Director of Penelope House. Penelope House is a shelter for victims of domestic violence and their children. Each year we shelter nearly 1,000 clients. We feed them, we clothe them, we give them a place to stay so they are safe. Penelope House relies a great bit on volunteers. I think what sets BP and its volunteers apart is they have volunteered for several years, and the projects are often ones that they think of, and we appreciate them being so involved and being so aware of what's going on here that they notice those things. They have helped with several projects, a safety security fence that was implemented. That fence has allowed for children to play without having the risk of them chasing a ball into a parking lot. It also is a security device in the sense for someone to visualize them from far away. And often volunteers will come in and read to our children, do art projects with the children. That allows their mothers to attend support group or allows their mothers some free time just to have a little break. And I think that's so important because the children understand that someone in the community cares. They do it because they care. And not only are they doing it, they're bringing their families to volunteer. So that's a wonderful thing that any organization is proud of when you have volunteers who are that committed that they're willing to bring in their family. What Penelope House offers victims of domestic violence, the bottom line is hope, that things can get better. So no matter what the situation is, no matter how severe the abuse is, if there's someone they know that cares and someone who's there for them, then I think that's the best thing that we ever could offer.
Okay, we have supported Penelope House since its inception. And yes, they do get a lot of money from grants and other sources, corporate monies too. But please remember that money is liquid. When a parent comes in with 3 children and they have to clothe them and house them and feed them and help them to give them emotional support and also help them to get started in the future, that costs a lot of money. We are very proud of Penelope House. I've had the opportunity to visit it a number of times. I wish that all of you can go and visit it and see it for yourself. It's an extraordinary program. My hat goes off to the Sisters of District 1 and the Sisters of Mobile, and my gratitude for the sisterhood nationally to support Penelope House is overwhelming because we do help a lot. And imagine over 40 years how many people that they've supported. Interesting fact, the first 2 clients of Penelope House were men. 2 men of domestic violence. So domestic violence is not just a woman and children, but it also has to do, men also suffer from domestic violence. Just so that you know, if a man comes to Penelope House who is suffering from domestic violence, they are housed elsewhere, not in the facility of Penelope House. So Penelope House is one of our projects this year. We also want to find projects that help people live full, productive lives. And with that, Limitless Solutions, thanks to the Sisters of District 2, came into focus for us. And the Grand Lodge last year, when we thought we were going to Disney, had the opportunity to visit Limitless. Now, those of you that are educators know that having real world experiences in being able to use the skills that you're learning in school and applying them makes learning real. And what I found so inspiring with Limitless is that it's located across the street from the University of Central Florida, I think. And it uses the students at the university as interns at Limitless Solutions. But let me take you on a little tour before I talk a little bit more. Oh, back.
Welcome to the Texas Instruments Innovation Lab. My name's Albert Monero, and I'm the Executive Director of Limitless Solutions nonprofit. We had a dream that engineering and art weren't so different, and that technology infused with compassion could really change the world. For the last 2 years, we've been 3D printing bionic arms for families at absolutely no cost. Everything has been done here in this lab, and we're working with our team to continuously improve the design. But what's really interesting, and I wanted to show you today, is it actually all starts as an idea on the computer screen. How's the new design? Everything looks great.
Hi, my name is Lauren Jacobs, and I'm a marketing student here at UCF. My job is to ensure that everything runs smoothly for our families, from initial arm measurement to final arm delivery.
I'm Dominic Corbin, and I'm the Director of Production. Every arm can take up to 70 hours to print, and we assemble them right here at the UCF Makerspaces, which include the Harris Corporation Gathering Lab and the TI Innovation Lab. We have a lot of kids on the waiting list, but we're always learning new ways to work smarter to extend our reach.
Hi everyone, I'm Michelle Hawley, and I'm an industrial engineer. My challenge is to coordinate all of our projects. Recently, we expanded Limitless Solutions to include our next-gen wheelchair, controlled with facial movements. This gives quadriplegics new independence. Brendan here is doing some testing.
Hi, I'm John Sparkman. I earned my master's degree here at UCF. Now, I'm the Director of Research and Development. Our next goal is to develop an arm-in-a-box kit so we can deliver more arms. We dream big, and one day we'll help children around the world.
I'm so glad you could join us on our tour. I'm Sabrina Torres, and I'm studying mechanical engineering. I put the finishing touches on each arm to make sure that it's ready for delivery, and throughout the process, I talk with each family to make sure that the arm fits the child's wish. Any questions?
No questions, but I'd like to say thanks from my Annie. And thanks from our family, too.
Zach thinks his arm is awesome.
You changed everything for our girl.
That was great.
Now, Limitless, if you think about it, oftentimes with prosthetics, with children that need prosthetics, they often don't get prosthetics because they were so expensive to make. And the children change, and as they grow, their needs change. But with Limitless, they use what they call a 3D printer, and they're able to make these prosthetics for under $1,000 a pop. Wow. So children who are growing up, they're able to all of a sudden have a second arm or a second, I think it's mostly arms that they do right now. But they're also innovating and growing into other different areas. When we visited last year, they were telling us that Bill and Melinda Gates went to visit their workspace a few weeks prior to when we went. And they were very interested in that wheelchair for the paraplegic. I can't say that, but so their Limitless Solutions is growing in visibility among a lot of different people. But what we do, and we provide, and the children design the colors and the way their arms look. What we do is we give them not only another appendage to be able to use, but we give them confidence. And that is probably the biggest thing ever. And so this is such a worthy project that we all support. We also look for projects to help us support devastating diseases that might not get a lot of support elsewhere. And the Sjögren's Syndrome Foundation is one of them. So let's learn more about that.
Hi, I'm Stephen Taylor, CEO of the Sjögren's Syndrome Foundation, or SSF. Sjögren's Syndrome Foundation is the only national nonprofit dedicated to education, awareness, and research for Sjögren's syndrome, an autoimmune disease where the immune system attacks and destroys the moisture-producing glands throughout a person's body. Sjögren's is the second most common autoimmune disease in the United States, affecting an estimated 4 million people. Sjögren's is so common, in fact, that it affects more than 3 times more people than related diseases like lupus or multiple sclerosis, and is more common among women than breast cancer. In fact, 9 out of 10 Sjögren's patients are women, one of which hits very close to home for me. Diagnosed in 1998, my mother continues to fight her disease head on, determined not to let it stop her from enjoying time with her grandchildren, shopping for her next bargain, or her favorite pastime, ballroom dancing. The disease does slow her down and even causes her to be bedridden for short periods of time, but her determination will not stop. One of the biggest challenges when she was diagnosed was that neither she nor anyone in our family had ever heard of Sjogren's. Now, as CEO of the Sjogren's Syndrome Foundation, I have challenged our organization to make Sjogren's a household name. And beyond that, to make known the debilitating effects of the disease. Patients suffer from a variety of symptoms that range from dry eye and dry mouth to chronic fatigue and muscle and joint pain. The disease can also cause life-threatening manifestations in internal organs, as well as central nervous system complications. Until people become familiar with the disease and its symptoms, it will remain difficult to diagnose everyone suffering from Sjogren's, a number we estimate to be around 3 million Americans. That's why the SSF continues to fight for patients. Like my mother, there are many Sjogren's patients out there who aren't able to explain their disease or are confused by the many facets of the disease. The SSF is dedicated to raising awareness so that someday when a patient receives a diagnosis of Sjogren's, he or she will have heard it and will know where to turn for support and guidance. Until that day, the Sjogren's Syndrome Foundation will not stop our fight, and we hope you'll consider joining us on our journey. Thank you.
I didn't know much about Sjogren's until I started researching this, and it was really interesting to see how prevalent it is in society. We also have 3 designated voluntary projects. The one is the Daughters of Penelope Foundation. And I know Anna Helene is going to talk about it, but if you click onto, when you get this PowerPoint, if you click onto this, it'll go right to the foundation's website where you can get, it should anyway, there, where you can get all the information you need for the foundation. We also have health imperatives, but with health imperatives, what we're really doing is supporting Penelope's Place, which is located in Massachusetts. I had the opportunity to visit that domestic violence shelter as well. Penelope Place, I just want you to be aware, has set up for Bed Bath & Beyond a registry where if you want to send over plates, I know Bed Bath & Beyond I hear is going out of business, but until then, they have a registry where they need plates and whatever they need to help their residents set up their own apartments or abodes after they're done with, when they're able to move on out of the shelter. There's a registry for us to be able to send, and it directly ships it to Penelope House, the items, so that we don't have to worry about packing it, paying for shipping and everything like that. So if you go on to Bed Bath & Beyond and look up it's under the bridal registry, Penelope's Place, you'll see the items that they need for support there. And also in Greece, we have the Penelopian Daycare Center in Athens, Greece. And for those of us that haven't seen it yet, they were kind enough to send me this little video. Oops.
Sí, Jula.
Although every chapter to be in good standing needs to donate to the mandatory projects, we also encourage people to also make donations to the voluntary projects as well. As you can see, our efforts are global. We do things to try to support women, children, health, education, and your support is always appreciated to promote these projects. I don't want to take away from district projects or local projects. Those are vital for your chapter and your district's identity, but the national projects are something that we all need to support. We received a money donation from someone's estate to the Daughters of Penelope Charitable Foundation. How many of you knew that we had a Daughters of Penelope Charitable Foundation? I don't know if you knew that, but we do have a Daughters of Penelope Charitable Foundation where people can donate monies, and then we can, if you want to stipulate for what reasons beyond our voluntary projects, or we look at things and say, where can we make the biggest impact? And we received, I think it was $100,000, is it $100,000, Ellen? I don't remember, donation, and it's $10,000, oh no, $50,000. And we decided the past 3 years to donate it to Meals on Wheels, because the stipulation of this estate was that we have to give money to support a program that assists the elderly, which, you know, as I get older, I think it becomes more and more prevalent in my daily life, you know, taking care of my mom right now. So we picked Meals on Wheels because it's an international project, and I want you to see a little bit of that. Oh, that's a commercial.
Meals on Wheels is a service that delivers a hot lunch to a senior's home. We deliver 5 days a week, and so we see those seniors every day.
Hi, good morning, Mr. Johnson. I'm doing good. How are you doing today? Here's your meal.
South Carolina ranks 4th worst in the nation for senior hunger and food insecurity. And what that means is that they either don't have enough food or that they don't have access to enough food to be able to maintain their health.
We are packing meals to be delivered in Richland County. It's a hot meal site. There's 280 clients to be served today out of this site and 75 out of our other hot meal site. We're serving over 350 meals a day to in-home bound seniors. They can't leave their homes, so the whole goal is to not only provide a nutritious meal, but also a wellness check, and to help reduce the loneliness and keep them independent in their homes instead of institutionalized or in the hospital. We actually work with a caterer, Icafanos, out of Columbia. They have a nutritionist they work with, and we go by the guidelines of the Lieutenant Governor's Office of Aging. So they propose a menu, and then the nutritionist looks at it and says yes or no, and the chef fights with the nutritionist, and everybody's happy.
We assess each person's individual needs and their individual situation to determine whether or not they qualify. By definition, a Meals on Wheels recipient is homebound, meaning that they're primarily at home. Generally, they have to be a senior, which we define as 55 years of age or older. We also serve the neediest of the needy as far as income status, low income. A lot of times someone may be at a point in their life that they don't have good nutrition, and our nutritionally balanced meal would help them. And so those people kind of rise to the top of the waiting list, so to speak, so that they're the next one served.
Hi, Mr. White. we're here, but I'm very glad to welcome.
I had a heart attack back here in 2013, terrible car accident, which I had a massive heart attack just 2 blocks away from the house. There's no income coming in. She's Social Security, I'm on disability. These programs are a tremendous help to us.
Federal funding is at 37 to 38% of the Meals on Wheels program here in Richland County. The bulk of our funding for Meals on Wheels comes from our corporate partners, and we receive donations from several dozen churches here in the Midlands area. We also do private fundraising to raise money for our meals programs. So we are hitting every segment of our community to try and find donations.
We have probably over 300 to 400 volunteers that deliver, plus we have another 100 or so that pack. So we really could not do this without volunteer help.
I'm a packer. I've been packing about 4.5 years. It's been a gradual increase every week. A lot of people are being served. Both my parents and my husband's parents in other areas used Meal on Wheels. And that's what brought me here to begin with, is how excited and happy I was that they were being fed and getting good, nutritious meals, having someone check on them. So when I looked for an opportunity, this is where I came and been very happy here.
People like myself were happy to drive our own cars and make the deliveries. It gives me a sense of meaning and fulfillment in my life that I wouldn't otherwise have. Many of them can't cook for themselves. They can't go out and shop. They may not have any family who can help out. Many of them are socially isolated. It's obviously saving government a lot of money by cutting down on institutionalizations. And the program is a wonderful way of using volunteers to help extend the dollar. Hi, Miss Susan.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good.
How's Sweeney doing today?
Hey, good, Swing. Hi, say hey, Sweeney Wing. I had to go on disability because I have 5 chronic conditions. I guess you could call them conditions. The major one being arthritis, because I don't get around very well. And that prevents me from going to the store when I want to, or even standing up to cook a long time. Things have changed and I've downsized, but there's a lot of things that I just can't afford. And 3 meals a day is one of them. Sad to say, but that's just the way it is. It's a lot more than a hot meal. And Sweeney, if I couldn't get out to get him food, what would I do? You know, because he eats some of what I eat too. So Meals on Wheels benefits him too. And they bring him dog food once a month, you know, and I'm very, very grateful for that, because he's been a blessing for me too, you know, company.
So I think it's really important that we have people who advocate for seniors, and that's a lot of what we do, is we advocate for seniors to ensure that the services that they need are there when they need them.
Lighter, softer.
How lucky are we that it was this gentleman or whoever was gracious enough to give us this donation, that we were able to support Meals on Wheels these past 3 years. And especially in this time, you know, socialization, isolation, senior citizens, it's really helping. Now, Meals on Wheels is international. There are Meals on Wheels in Canada. There's Meals on Wheels in Europe too. So it's an international endeavor, and it's very worthy cause. We had the occasion of having lunch with the CEO of Meals on Wheels. She's a dynamic person, and her enthusiasm kind of like lit the fire in us as well. So what's the impact of the national philanthropy though? Because I want you to realize that nationally, when we use collective donations, we demonstrate the collaboration of our sisterhood to support causes we believe in. The larger the amount of the check that is written for, the better the recognition for the Daughters of Penelope as an international organization. And we are a sisterhood that wants to make the greatest possible impact to support and sustain the worthy causes that we choose while promoting our organization. So not only are we being philanthropic, we're also promoting the Daughters of Penelope as we do that. So I hope this gives you a little bit more insight on our national projects and our voluntary projects. I also want to say that we still have the St. Basil's Fund, that we maintain the pool up at St. Basil's annually. So we also help and support St. Basil's. And please promote the projects. And if there's anything I can do, or if you want me to make any kind of presentation at your district conferences, you can always use this PowerPoint too. But the more informed we are, and the more we understand what we're promoting and what we're sponsoring and what we're working towards, the more generous I'm sure we will all be. So thank you for your time.
That was excellent.
Thank you
So
so
good.
much.
That was incredible. I definitely want to share some of those videos too.
How do I get out of here?
That I go to. Because I do
I think at the bottom you should be able to exit. There you go.
Woohoo!
My
Thank you very much.
Well are proud. My liaisons are proud.
Thank you very, very much, Sister Georgette. That was very detailed, and I think it gave the sisters a very good representation of our projects, and I think that they would gladly share those with the chapters and at a district conference. So thank you very much for that. I made a little, what's the word, a little mistake because Sister Eleanor was supposed to make a presentation about headquarters prior to the presentation on the national project. So I'm warning you, we may be joined by Georgie and Varvara to help their mom with her presentation. So just warning you. We may have seminar crashers. So Elena,
exactly.
Okay.
The floor is yours.
Wonderful. It's so great to see you all today. Thank goodness for Zoom. Definitely a suggestion would be, if possible, if your district can create a Zoom account so that you can hold, future meetings together, because obviously with so many unknowns, Zoom is just so helpful until we can meet in person. So most of you all know me, but just in case, I'm the executive director at headquarters. So my function is to oversee the overall management and operations at headquarters. I've been there for about almost 15 years now. I've been a member for longer with my fellow sister and Grand Governor Kathy Matrakis, who's on here today. And my family's in a HEPA family, and I've always said that for me, being a member is truly, it's a blessing, it's an honor, it's a privilege. No organization is like us, and we are truly unique. So we should always, keep that in mind. So today I wanted to do a brief presentation and then show you a recording that I had done with the chapter treasurers last month, which went over the breakdown of per capita and then also did a walkthrough of the membership system. So the recording is 15 minutes long and my presentation is probably 10 minutes. So bear with me, it is a lot of information. We will do the question and answers after. But again, I'm here for the lodge, I'm here for all of you, I'm here for the chapters. So any tools and resources you need in order to continue the good work that you do for the daughters, please do not hesitate to reach out to me at any time. So I'm going to share my screen so everyone can see this, right?
Yep. Yes.
Yep.
All right. So what we do. So I have put together these little snippets of what we do because, as you go out there and you have potential members or even just people that ask you, what you're a member of or what this leadership position you hold is about, you can tell them in a snapshot about what we do. So I'm going to just read it along with you. So since 1929, the Daughters of Penelope has initiated thousands of members into our 250 chapters worldwide, with chapters in the US, Canada, Australia, Greece, England, France, Germany, Austria, and even Belgium. Our mission and outreach is constantly growing. Founded in San Francisco in 1929, the DOP is the first women's organization of its kind established in the US. And if you recall, it was even a question on Jeopardy many, many years ago.
Yeah.
So the Daughters of Penelope is an international women's organization promoting Hellenism and leading in philanthropic, educational, and civic activities through community service and volunteerism. Philanthropy and volunteerism have been pillars for the DOP over its many years of existence, from natural disaster relief to raising funds to eliminate life-threatening diseases to making significant contributions to our local municipalities. The Daughters of Penelope is at the forefront of charitable giving. Yet, this only scratches the surface of the numerous philanthropic works of the organization. Countless philanthropic projects are also undertaken by the DOP chapters and districts and eventually become national projects. The Daughters of Penelope's commitment to education has also been well documented throughout its history and also recognizes female athletes at the high school, collegiate, and professional levels with scholarships, accolades, and in some cases, induction into our Athletic Hall of Fame. In addition, through our members, the DOP communicates to elected representatives at the federal, state, and local levels, as well as diplomatic leaders, the positions of the Greek American community on issues of concern to it. It is also our civic responsibility to provide affordable housing to senior citizens. The Aheta Housing Corporation has been awarded over $400 million from the Department of Housing and Urban Development. The total number of senior housing complexes stands at 91, with over 4,750 units complete and more in development. So, like I said, this is just a snapshot. The truly unique aspect of our organization, of course, though, is the sisterhood aspect. And, you know, we have proven that time and time again, how much we are able to empower each other, empower women, help each other. And, you know, most recently with the pandemic, you've seen how many sisters, you know, like I know Sister Marianne on here, who has made thousands of masks. So we have people making masks, hand sanitizers, or just distributing food. So that's what makes us so special. So a lot of times we'll get questions from members that say, you know, what does our membership, you know, get? What do we do? And really the answer is almost, besides what we just went over, is what don't we do? You know, we do so much. So we always have to remember that. So moving on, I did want to talk about the upcoming reinstatement waiver and our year-end dues. In honor of Founders Day, November 16th, the reinstatement fee of $15 will be waived. Applications in $35 per capita must be postmarked November to H2 to qualify. And the members reinstating in November via this waiver will be paid through 2020. So with the membership dues, obviously the end of the year is coming up pretty quickly. We want everyone to remember that the number of members a chapter has paid through 2020 by December 31st not only yields a greater rebate for the district, but is also going to determine the voting strength of the chapter. So, you know, hopefully if all is well and we're all in Greece together, we really want to make sure our chapters have the max voting strength so that they have the max delegates at the convention so that they can represent. Just a few national deadlines. Penelope Scroll deadline is January 1st and May 15th. Please submit articles to penelopescroll@gmail.com. It's a great way to showcase your chapter or your district in addition to social media. And I definitely want to thank DG Sister Xanthi, who's on here, who is our editor. So she's done a wonderful job and looking forward to the next issues. 2021 membership dues. Because of the way our system is and how we need to close out for 2020 before processing 2021, we really want the New Year's dues to come in after the New Year through May. And then, of course, piggybacking onto Grand Secretary Georgette's wonderful presentation on obligations, those are due March 31st. So DOP on the web and social media. So hopefully you have visited our website. It's daughtersofpenelope.org. It is an amazing tool and resource for chapters and districts. We update it daily, so please take a look. We've added a membership tab that also includes a webinar section. So that's where we are going to host all of our webinars that we've already done and all the future webinars that the Grand Lodge is going to host this month all the way through the new year. So I've listed here what the names of our accounts are. You know, it's such a great way to create exposure for the daughters and engage your members and potential new members. So if you're able to create a social media account for the district, it's wonderful. We only ask that you make sure the district's name and location is in the title so that there's no confusion between other accounts and the Nationals account. And of course, you know, the bio should include a bio of, you know, the daughters in general, but of course what your district does specifically. And of course, you know, just remember to always remain positive and diplomatic because we are, you know, doing this under the Daughters of Penelope name. So the membership system are, I guess I could almost say new. It's only been a few years. The previous one we had was about 18 years old before we switched over. So this still feels so new to us. But it really provides a better service to you and to the chapters. You can download all sorts of reports from rosters to billing to even labels. You know, members have the ability to pay their dues individually, or in most instances, the top 4 chapter officers, they have the ability to pay for the chapter. So what happens is, you know, a chapter will have a membership night and they'll collect dues, or they'll mail the dues to the chapter treasurer, and then the chapter treasurer will log in and pay via credit card for all the members of the chapter and then get reimbursed by the chapter. You can tap into it anytime and anywhere. And I do have the tutorial and the live walkthrough on the website under the members tab. And we are going to go ahead and watch the recording as well. So just a breakdown on EINs. So for those of you who are not familiar, the EIN, or Employer Identification Number, is also known as a federal tax identification number. So it pretty much functions like a Social Security number. So every chapter and district has their own. And that EIN must be attached to your bank account. If for some reason you're unsure of what it is, and if you have the right one on your account, you know, please feel free to reach out to me so we can just double check. But this procedure was mandated by the IRS in 2008. So in order to eliminate the risk of our chapters and districts losing their tax exempt status, it was something that we took on at headquarters. So each year we file what they call a 990N postcard for every chapter and district. And you can actually go to the IRS website to view all of the filings there in case you ever need to look at it. But if you do have gross receipts over $50,000 in any tax year, then you would have to seek professional tax advice. But I think we only have, I want to say, about 6 chapters that have that issue, so not many. So our Supreme Convention ad book, we're very proud of this ad book. We've gotten such great feedback on it. Such a wonderful way to showcase your chapter or to honor someone in your chapter. You know, we're continuing the 90th celebrations this year since we weren't able to celebrate in person this past summer. So our hope is that every chapter and district and even individual members will place an ad or a listing in this year's yearbook. And I do have the form online on the website, just under the Forms tab under Supreme Convention. And Penelope's Emporium, if you go onto the website under the Forms tab and Resources, I do have the order form and a catalog with photos and prices of everything we have. So those are purchased obviously through headquarters. You can email or call in your order. and we do accept credit card, of course. And we also have a cafe press store, which I'm not sure if many are familiar with, but it's very neat. It's got all sorts of other merchandise that's not, you know, pins, let's say, for example, like our service pins. We have customized mugs, customized aprons. There's even baby stuff. So it's really neat. It's worth looking into. There's even some stationery, ornaments for Christmas. So it's really fun. So if you're able to take a look, especially now that we're approaching holiday time, there's some really neat stuff there. So the stat report. So I sent you all the stat report yesterday. We did revise it. You'll notice that the headers are a little bit more clear cut. So, you know, the last three columns clearly specify how many are paid through 18, how many are paid through 19, and how many are paid through 2020. So this way you can gauge which of your members need to just renew for 2020, or perhaps maybe take advantage of the reinstatement waiver and reinstate, you know, next month. We did eliminate the life member column. So what we did was just for system purposes, because obviously anyone who is a life member is always going to be a life member, but just for stat purposes, our life members are now regular members. So basically what you'll do on the stat report is you'll see them in one of these three columns because it's driven by paid through date. So if you had a life member that was paid through 2018, they're going to show up in that 2018 column. It's very possible that with this stat report, you might see a slight decrease in your membership, and that could be only because your life members that were in that original column before were a little bit more delinquent than 2018, but they were still showing up in that life member column because they were life members. So we still have the life membership roster in the system that you can pool. And like I said, a life member is always going to be a life member. But for purposes of this stat report, we have made it this way so that it is a little bit more clear cut. And, you know, of course, when we do the question and answer, if you have questions on this, or if you need to review the stat report and get back to me, you know, feel free to do so. We want to make sure that everyone understands it and is able to read it correctly. And like we said, the stats are live. So every day that we're getting dues, the numbers are going to change and they're going to fluctuate. So, you know, to Monday, for example, we might get more dues in and the people in the 2018 column will move to 2019 or 2020. The stats are from January 1 to December 31 because we do run on a calendar year. And like I said, it's driven by paid through date. So whatever year that member is paid through is the column that they'll be in. So breakdown on per capita. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to the recording that I did with the chapter treasurers because that starts off with the breakdown of per capita and then leads into the walkthrough of the membership system. So I'm going to mute my phone audio and turn my computer audio on.
She does it so effortlessly.
Okay, so let's do that. I'm going to mute.
There's so much information there. I think probably the head is just expanding.
In Matiasa, man. Okay.
So for anyone who's joining just on audio and is not seeing the screen, I will go ahead and just read it sort of. Dues are $35. So the way it's been broken down is office and equipment expenses are $1.14. Penelope's
Alicia, μόνο
all of our fees is $1.27. Postal mail postage printing, 67 cents. District rebate to district, $2. Membership system maintenance, computer software and upgrades, $3.77. Supreme Convention and District Governor Seminar, $3.32.
Κάτι Μαργαρίτα, κάτσε να βάλω μια φωτογραφία. Το δουλεύω. Στείλει με τον Καναδά.
$15.59.
Θα κλειστώ όλα τώρα, σίγουρα.
Our HEPA administrative fee, which includes rent,
Σου και την κάμερα, γιατί φίλοι μου
$4.05. Grand Lodge and Headquarters Travel Appropriations is $6.64. Staff payroll and payroll taxes and EIN filing services for all chapters and districts is $7.89.
Is she presenting? Because are you all hearing it?
Yes. Only now.
It was very faint.
Okay, because I can hear it on my iPad, but I can't hear it on my computer.
Now you're good.
But I'm playing it on my iPad. I just went to the DOP website and I was playing it myself. The same presentation is available on the DOP website.
Right. I think that's what she's going to show us now.
Sorry, everybody. It looks like, so I have some sort of issue with my PC audio. So I think I have it on level 100. So if it's still faint, I have a feeling that it's probably blown out. I think what I'm going to do is if you're on the website viewing it, can you go ahead and share your screen and play it from the beginning if you don't mind? You can even fast forward to the part that.
Yeah, I had it on my iPad and I'm on my computer with this, but I can pull it up. Let me see if I can go pull it up on my website because I can't share my screen from my iPad because I'm logged in here. Let me go find it though on my computer if you want me to do it. Otherwise, let me see.
Whoever's able to do, only because if I pull it up myself on the website, even then the audio is still gonna be faint.
Okay, just a minute.
And then if you want to.
All right, I'm just getting to the website on my computer and then.
Sure, thanks, Elizabeth.
And then is it under, where are the webinars on?
So it's under the members tab.
Okay.
And then you'll see under webinars, it should say live walkthrough of system. Okay. And then go ahead at the bottom just to share your screen.
Okay. All right. And let me make it Okay. Hold on just a minute.
It is under webinars, yeah.
Okay. I will share my, well, wait a minute. I got to get back into, let me just open this up. So it's going, and then I will go back to the meeting.
Joining just on audio and is not seeing the screen, I will
There you
go
go.
ahead and just read it sort of fast. Dues are $35. So the way it's been broken down is office and equipment expenses are $1.14. Penelope's Emporium cost of goods sold, which is all of our pins, is $1.27. Postal mail postage and printing, 7
Does
cents.
it let you go back to the Zoom screen so that you can
that's
share
what
the
that's
screen?
what I'm trying to, there we go. Okay, now I can share it.
Software and upgrades, $3.77. Supreme Convention and District Governor Seminar, $3.32. Legislative Consulting Services.
Might want to take a second to get up and stretch.
I still don't see it come up though.
I'm working on sharing it.
Oh, okay.
I can try as well if you want, Elena. I think I have it up.
Okay, let her do it then.
Sure, yeah, whoever is able to. I know sometimes these things get so tricky.
I'm gonna try.
Set it up.
EIN
Yeah, it is.
all chapters and districts. It's $7.89.
Right. Perfect. So Elizabeth, if you can turn yours off, thanks so much.
I don't have it on yet, so you go ahead.
General Federation of Women's Club is 66 cents.
I hear it in the background though for some reason.
Joining just on audio and is not seeing the screen, I will go ahead and just read it sort of fast.
I don't have mine on yet.
Stating that the way it's been broken down is office and equipment expenses are $1.42 to balance the budget. Cost of goods sold.
It's on the side. I just have it.
$1.27. Postal mail postage and printing, 7 cents. District rebate to district, $2. Membership system maintenance, computer software and upgrades, $3.77. Supreme Convention and District Governor Seminar, $3.32. For creative consulting services, district responsibility, as well as marketing and $3.
I think that the other video might still be playing because I hear it in the background.
Yeah. You're the first attempt.
All right, I'm going to take it. I'm going to make sure mine's not playing. Let me see.
Our sole bulk revenue, and we really need it to continue our operations, so we're very appreciative. So the second slide is just sort of a little pie chart.
Are you on a Mac or a PC? Maybe you have to, if you're on a Mac, you probably have to.
Turned it off. I mean, I hadn't started it, but I just clicked at it. So I'm off of it.
Okay.
Perfect, thank you. Sorry, everyone, technical difficulties.
Grand Lodge and Headquarters Travel Appropriations is $6.64. Staff payroll and payroll taxes and EIN filing services for all chapters and districts is $7.89. And our office telephone, fax, bank charges, and our annual membership to the General Federation of Women's Club is 66 cents. So that is the breakdown sort of to the penny when it comes to the annual membership fee for $35. And I do have this note at the end stating that these amounts go towards budget approved line items. So we do have additional funds to balance the budget, and those come from sources outside per capita revenue, such as our Supreme Convention profits, cost of goods sold, so the sales from our pins, and our investment interest income, and of course any sort of miscellaneous income such as donations from members. So we thought that this was important for you specifically as the chapter treasurer, and of course members to sort of know where the $35 is going. And, you know, this is also a way for you to understand how well the lodge uses this $35. And, you know, again, membership means so much to us. This is really our sole bulk revenue, and we really need it to continue our operations. So we're very appreciative. So the second slide is just sort of a little pie chart to give you a snapshot of what we just went over. And again, you know, this is recorded. I'll be sending it out. I'll include it in our digital yearbook as well. So, you know, if I'm moving too quickly, you know, be rest assured we're going to send this out. So the third slide is going to be the questions that were asked on the sign-up sheet. So the first one was, would like to know the possibility of holding chapter meetings virtually as a way to maintain membership requirements. So this is definitely going to be reviewed at the next Grand Lodge meeting until it can be discussed and voted upon at the next Supreme Convention. But of course, great idea. Number two, when someone who is out of a chapter for 1, 2, or more years, what are the rules for reinstatement and payment? How many years of back dues have to get paid, etc. So to reinstate, the member needs to complete the membership application and check the box at the top for reinstatement. To reinstate is $35 per capita plus the $15 reinstatement fee. Members who wish to keep their years of service continuous can pay back years missed at $35 per year. Number three, is there a cutoff for participation voting when dues remain unpaid in a given year, and for how long? So Article 26 in our bylaws discusses this, but technically you have until December 31 to pay your dues, since dues are by calendar year. However, delegates to a district or national convention must be paid for the current year to participate and vote. So number four, is there a notification process to the chapters when a member pays their dues for their membership in our chapter? So when a member pays headquarters per capita online, a receipt is emailed to the top 4 chapter officers listed in the system, indicating the member has paid. The member who has paid dues online also receives a receipt which states that chapter dues must be remitted in order to be considered a member in good standing. So the last question was, is there a way to send individual email invoices to unpaid members? So it's a fantastic question. Obviously, we're not able to do it at this time, but we are certainly working towards it. So we're hoping to get there. So on to the exciting stuff. We are going to walk through the membership system now. So let me go ahead and share my screen. So can everyone see the home page of the website? Okay, let me just share.
Not yet.
How about
No.
it?
There it is.
So
Okay, got it.
Portal, what you're going to do is you're going to go to daughtersofpenelope.org, and that'll bring you to our website. And what you want to do is go to the members tab, and you'll see 2 links here. There's one link that says click here to view a step-by-step guide. So I do have a guide here. Can everyone see this? It says a guide to IMS.
Yes.
So this guide here is going to give you sort of a step-by-step guide to the system via screenshot. So obviously the walkthrough is the best way to go, but this is also a great reference, you know, as a chapter officer and an individual officer, because it is going to walk you through via the screenshot. So to get into the portal, you're going to click here to log in. And this will bring you to what we call at headquarters the public site. So it's public to our members. Now I am going to log in as my YAYA, because my YAYA is in my chapter. Now, before I log in though, it's important to note, how do you log in? So everybody has access, the individual members do. Obviously the chapter president, vice president, secretary and treasurer have additional access. So what you're going to have to do is actually create your password. So what you'll do is you'll click on, I don't know my password. It'll bring you to this screen, and your username is the email you listed on the membership application. So when you type in your email here and you click submit, that will send you a link to create your password so that you can go ahead and log in. So my Yaya has already done that. So we are signing in. So this is what your individual member will see. You'll see it too, but you have these wonderful tabs at the top, but the individual member will not. So when you first log in as a member, you're going to see the top 4 officers. Now, obviously, you see my Yaya here because I gave her officer access, but normally she wouldn't be here. So my Yaya can renew her dues if she needed to. She could download her membership card. She could edit her personal details by clicking this little pencil icon here. She could edit her address and, of course, change her password. And if you're really getting fancy, you can upload a picture of your granddaughter's, great-granddaughter's baptism. So now, as the chapter treasurer, what can you do? So you see this Hermione hyperlink here? So that's your chapter's hyperlink. So if you click here, this is going to bring you to a listing of all of your members. So you have the capability to click on each member and edit some of their details if for some reason the individual member cannot. So for example, if I wanted to log in to Katie's profile to see what she has listed and to change her phone number for her because she wasn't sure how to do it, I would be able to do that. Or I could also print her membership card for her. So that's just, you know, an extra thing right there, and that's going to be underneath your name. So moving on to chapter group payment tab. When you click here, you are going to get a listing of all the members who are active and also need to reinstate. So let's say you have a membership night and you collect dues, or you have your members sending you checks. You could then click on those ladies who are renewing or reinstating, and then go ahead and press pay cash dues, and that will bring you to a screen to go ahead and pay via credit card. And of course, you'll receive a confirmation receipt, so that way you could get reimbursed by the chapter's treasury. So this is solely the chapter group payments tab. Now the reports tab is
Elena?
the most useful. So the first one is invoice by active chapter, which is really your active billing. So for those chapters that are not quite yet at the level of paying via credit card, they can download this form because it's in alphabetical order and also lists everyone who needs to pay for the current year, and go ahead and just check everyone off who has submitted and mail this form along with the check. So when you get to the screen, what you'll do is just press this little red icon here in order to export to PDF and go ahead and print it. And like I said, these are in the guide. We will be recording this, so you know, if it feels like it's too fast, don't worry. So going back to report. So IQA report. So on this screen, we've got a few reports here. We've got your chapter active roster. We've got the deceased member roster for when it's time to do the in memoriam. Chapter delinquent roster when it's time to do that membership drive. Chapter officer roster, which is going to give you a listing of all your members who have held a title in the chapter. You've got the Grand Lodge officer roster in case you'd like to reach out to anyone on the lodge. And you have your life member roster so that you can honor those at the end of the year who have done 50 years or more. And just to sort of give you an idea of what this is going to look like. So if I do the active roster for my chapter, I'm going to go ahead and export this to Excel. And the reason we do that is so that you can go ahead and manipulate and sort the data the way that you want to.
Only the chapter officers have access to this report? Elena?
I'm just going to make sure you can actually see this Excel.
I'm sorry, go ahead. Ask that question again.
This Excel sheet.
Only the chapter officers have access to these reports?
It's pretty detailed. It has
So this is allowing you to see what the chapter officers see, but you as a district officer have access to all the chapter rosters in your district.
I do not have that access yet.
So this is.
Have you logged in?
Yes, I'm on right now.
Okay, we'll take a look after too.
That's your life members data. Okay, so that is all the reports that we have here. Now the third one under the reports tab is member label. So with this one, if your chapter is hosting, you know, an event and you don't want to have to worry about handwriting envelopes, you can easily come here and run the chapter label. So you're just going to come here and you're going to press run report.
I was thinking of that, Joe. I love you.
And it's going to bring you to this screen. And you're going to click on this little floppy disk icon in order to do it in PDF.
Oh, smoothie.
I'll go ahead and share my screen because you probably can't see this one.
I can feel my pain.
Can everyone see the labels 3 across?
No.
So all you'll need to do is just put label paper in your printer and go ahead and print. So this is a useful feature, especially when you're sending out dues notices or chapter events. So last but not least, the membership card. So you've got a few options here. You can enter someone's specific membership ID here if you know of someone that needs their ID, their membership card, or you can leave it blank and just run report for all the membership cards. Or you can go ahead and insert a check number and print the cards associated with that check number. So just to give you an idea of what it's gonna look like, I'm gonna go ahead and run everybody's card. So it'll bring me to this screen, and then I'll be able to do the same thing again. I can export to PDF.
Beautiful.
And I'm gonna go ahead and share this so you can see it. Can everyone see this PDF here?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
This is an easy way for you to be able to print and send it to your members, or I know most people in our chapter prefer to just receive it and download it, and then they have a copy of it on their phone. So that is the membership card. And then the last tab is your event guide. So this is where the members would go, of course, to sign up for their delegate or alternate or guest package. So, of course, we're really looking forward to next year. It's going to be in Athens, Greece. And, we'll see how everything goes, but we're really looking forward to it.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Margaret. You can go ahead and stop the screen share, and thanks Elizabeth too for trying to help out there. So that gave you a snapshot of what the chapter officers can do. So as you're reaching out to your chapters, you're able to tell them all the capabilities. And like we said before, as a district governor and district officer, the top 4 district officers also have access, but they're going to have district rosters. So when you pull up the Excel file, you're going to see all the chapters in your district, whereas the chapter is only seeing their own chapter. So if for some reason you're having an issue logging in and you don't see those report tabs at the top, just shoot me an email. It could just be that for whatever reason you don't have access. Maybe there's a typo in the email on our end. So we'll just have to double check and super quick. But I do want to thank you for listening to that whole presentation. I know it's a lot. That's why we recorded it. You know, again, we are here. I am here for you. We are all here together in order to support our goals and the mission. So if there's anything that I can do, please do not hesitate to reach out to me.
Thank you very much, Elena. A lot of information there. I know that Elena has said several sisters have connected with her and have gone through the website and had questions and worked at getting all the information that is there, because there is a lot for all members, not just chapter officers or district governors. So there's a lot of information there that can be used by our members to find out what we're doing, to get the nitty-gritties from that type of presentation. So the more you use it, the more familiar you are with it. So thank you again, Elena, for that presentation. I do see some more familiar faces that have joined us. District Governor Mary Paziotopoulos from District 22. Welcome, Sister Mary. We have Sister Robbie Jackson, past District Governor from District 22 as well. I see Sister Angela McGramus from District 14, and I see Sister Angela Moriopoulos, District Lieutenant Governor of District 23. So if there's any others that are on that I have not spied yet with my little eye, I will definitely mention them when I do see them.
A professional teacher never misses anything. Thank you, and my apologies for being late, but I know that my Lieutenant Governor Catherine is attending, so she will inform me with all the news. My apologies for being late. And
well, we welcome you anytime, Sister Mary.
Congratulations on the wonderful job that you're doing, your lodge under the circumstances.
Thank you very much, Sister Mary, and we appreciate all that you are doing within your district as well. Last but not least, definitely Sister Anna Helene, President of the Daughters of Penelope Foundation. As you know, the foundation administers. Yes?
I'm sorry, before you go on, I had a couple questions for Elena.
Okay, do you want to do them now, or do you want to wait till the end with our questions?
Oh, well, it had to do with, I can wait. It just had to do with what she just went over. Okay.
All right, we'll just be a couple of minutes, Sue.
That's okay.
Sister Anna Helene, as I said, they administer our scholarship program. And, oh, hi, Andy. That was my brother-in-law. They administer our scholarship program, and under normal circumstances, they would provide the money to pay for a speaker at our governor's seminar. But since we didn't have an in-person one this year, they did not need to provide those funds. So Sister Anna Helene, it's all yours.
Thank you. I am going to share my screen in a minute, but I do want to make note of very important things. Unfortunately, we lost 3 past members of our foundation, our history. Sister Kiki Hartz from District 13 was a past president, so Ionia Mimitis, and we thank her for all her service. Sister Josie Chase, past Grand President, was also a member of the foundation for all her hard work. And Sister Eugenia Christie, member of District 8 and 7, also a past member of the foundation and a vice president. So we do want to acknowledge them. So I did want to mention that, and those of you that might have heard or not heard, I do want to thank all the sisters on our computer right now who are past presidents, Sister Georgette, Sister Antoinette, Sister Celia, and members, Sister Bev, Sister Christine, and new members, Sister Xanthi. So, and anyone that I'm sorry that I missed, but it's important for us to acknowledge all those people that are past and present of the foundation. So I am going to share my screen. Just give me a minute. I do this every day with my students, so give me a minute. Hold on. There we go. Oh, hold on. It's going to give me a hard time. Sorry. Should be able to do it. gotta check it off because it's got all these crazy things. Can you see it?
Not yet. Not yet.
Now?
Oh.
Yes?
No.
No.
Hold on. Now can you see it?
No.
I don't know what's going on. Hold on. It has a firewall, unfortunately, so. All right, 1 minute. I'm just gonna bring it up from. All right, I'm gonna try it again. All right, hold on. See, technical difficulties here. I see all of you. Now?
Oh, there you are.
Perfect, okay. Sorry about that. I do what Sister Celia said. I multitask in my classroom. I have students in front of me and I have students on the computer next to me in the same classroom. So it's a little crazy. So thank you, Sister Georgette, for bringing up the foundation briefly, and I do appreciate you as a past president especially. I have hyperlinked this link here, so when you get this PowerPoint, you can just click on it. It'll take you straight to our website. So you can kind of see, I'll just take you there for a minute just so you can see what you'll do. So it's hyperlinked, you can just go right to it. Okay, so let's get back to that. Oh, sorry. Hold on, I just have to escape to get out of there. It's gonna let me go? Probably not. All right, there we go. Sorry about that. Okay. So for those of you that may not know the history of the foundation, this is just some information for you. It is on our website. Sister Sonia Stefanidis, who was a past Grand President, was the initiator of this wonderful organization. It was almost 35 years in the makings. And so this tells you a little bit about what was the initial reason we started, and the foundation's exclusively for charitable and civic, educational, and scientific purposes. It is a 501c3 by code and international revenue, so you can give money and donate money to this organization. It's really important for us to support our scholarship. Is probably our biggest and most important thing that we do, and we do appreciate every single donation that's made by chapters and districts every single year, and it's greatly, greatly appreciated. This is the original board of directors, which is also on our board. There were 11 of them. 7 of them are past grand presidents, which is a wonderful thing, showing the synergy and unified support between the Daughters of Penelope as an organization and the foundation. So I think that's an amazing attribute and thing to see, that we have 7 of the original directors that were past grand presidents. That's a wonderful thing to see. This is our current board of directors. Our executive board consists of all past grand presidents, which I think is a first. And I do think is a great thing, because I do believe that over the years, we've had the support of the daughters in general. And I think it's wonderful to see that our past grand presidents can help in other ways with their knowledge and wisdom. And I think that's a fabulous thing. Of course, our director at large, Sister Robbie, also has a parliamentarian background, which I think is an amazing thing to have someone on our board that also has that background as well. And of course, our founding president and many of our other members on our board, and our non-voting members as well, just as important. So please make note of all those people on there, and you can email the directors of the board from our website if you ever need to talk to any of us or email us something. So a little bit about us. The Daughters of Penelope Foundation was founded in 1983 to promote social, ethical, and philanthropic, cultural, and educational and intellectual interests of the members. The foundation also preserves and promotes the ideals and traditions of Hellenism and supports the program and goals of the Daughters of Penelope. And those of you that had the pleasure of visiting the DeYoung Museum in San Francisco and seen the beautiful statue, which, by the way, came from New England originally, and where I currently live and now live with my husband. It's a beautiful statue, and it was donated by the foundation, which I think is an amazing thing that the Daughters of Penelope Foundation did. So I think that's wonderful. If you haven't had a chance to see it in San Francisco, if you do visit, please do so, ladies, because it is just a beautiful place to see. We encourage members to utilize the foundation. If the foundation can be of any assistance to any of you, please don't hesitate to contact us. As many of the other sisters said, I am available via any way, Facebook, phone, email, anything you like. I'd be happy to answer. Text. Our team is comprised of members of the Daughters of Penelope. All members of the board are volunteers, and I appreciate them so much for that. As such, funds raised through the fundraising programs and donations are directed towards scholarships and projects of the foundation. And those of you that were in Chicago last year saw the beautiful presentation. It was a wonderful project that we did have a presentation from this young lady who, I don't know if you understand the whole background of the symposium, but I think it's important for all of you to know that the symposium is a wonderful thing to share all kinds of interesting stories. So I hope you all enjoy that. Our team is comprised of Daughters of Penelope members. Each of the Daughters of Penelope in the foundation makes scholarships available to students because of generosity of our past and present and private donors, as well as because of the munificence of members, chapters throughout the world. So thank you for that. Education and scholarships. And I do want to thank Sister Antoinette Zachariadis, who's on the computer, I know she is, who is multitasking because she is the district governor of District 5 and also our scholarship chairman for the past several years and has agreed to take it on again graciously. And we thank her for all her dedication and hard work for this very difficult task. So we do thank her for that. There are two types of scholarships you can give, annual named scholarships, which are on a yearly basis and can be renewed, and perpetual named scholarships, which are perpetual and will continue to give for many years to come. So if you need some more information about that, please feel free to go onto our website and of course either contact myself or Sister Antoinette. I'm sure she would be happy to answer your questions as well. So those are the two types of scholarships you can give to. The Pay It Forward Scholarship, it's a wonderful thing to have, and I have included the flyer on the next slide. I've also included at the bottom of this slide a hyperlink to take you to that. So you can see that little Pay It Forward scholarship. And this was started a few years ago because we wanted to give an opportunity to some of our recipients to kind of give back. And I think it's a wonderful thing to have. I think when someone receives a scholarship from any organization, many of districts and chapters have scholarships of their own, why not be able to allow them to give back for something that they did? And I'll share a little story with some of you who may have not heard this. When we were in Montreal for the National Convention, one of our HEPA brothers from our district got ill and was sent to the hospital. The doctor that took care of him in Montreal was a Greek Canadian, excuse me, and he was a recipient of a HEPA scholarship. And he donated back his fees and did not charge the HEPA brother for that. And I thought that was a wonderful thing. Pay it forward. So sisters, this is also a great thing that we have in our foundation and we offer. So it's a nice thing to remind your recipients who receive scholarships in your district to maybe do that one day. So here is that form and also on our website as well. And Sister Antoinette, I know you're on with us. Sister Antoinette has created this brochure. Would you take a minute, Sister Antoinette, if you don't mind?
You broke up
a little bit about it.
What you would like me to talk about?
Can you hear me? Yes, yeah. Can you just talk about that little flyer? Take a minute and talk about it, please. Thank you.
Sure, it'd be my pleasure. Okay, so there's always a lot of questions about the scholarship process. So I put together a little brochure to help explain some of the questions and requirements of the scholarships. I don't want to go through everything, but you can read it for yourself because it is self-explanatory. But one of the most important things is the duties of the scholarship chairman. The duties of the scholarship chairman are to assist the applicant in the scholarship process. As well, she receives the applications and certifies that all requirements are met. After the scholarship application have been evaluated by an independent evaluation committee, the chairman will then notify all applicants of the results by postal mail. Further, she will continue to work with the recipients until all other required information is obtained before mailing the checks to the institutions. She must abide by the rules and regulations set forth by the foundation and render a report to the foundation. The reason why I'm mentioning this is because the scholarship chairman is independent of the evaluation committee. I want everyone to understand, I am not the one who chooses who receives a scholarship. However, it is my job to make sure that the applicant has met all the requirements. And as well, I'm here to assist the applicants in any way, shape, or form possible should they need assistance filling out the application or needing to know how they're supposed to, you know, get their letters of recommendation. So I can be reached by email or telephone. I'm always more than willing to help assist because our job is to give out scholarships. There are different mailing procedures, which can be read off the application or the little brochure. But more importantly, the sponsor of the applicant, their dues must be paid in full for the current year. They have to have been a member for 24 continuous months in order to sponsor the applicant. And as well, it is very, very important that the chapter verifies membership of the sponsor. And the sponsor can be a daughter of Nehepin or a maids of Athena, but whomever the sponsor is of the applicant, it must be verified by that chapter. So in other words, if your father is your sponsor, he belongs to an AHEPA chapter. The AHEPA chapter is the one that has to verify the application, and so on and so forth, if it's a daughter or a maids of Athena herself.
Thank you, Sister Antoinette. Thank
You're
you so
very
much.
welcomed.
Thank you.